Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast To the Core. I am your host, Carissa, but most people call me Core. To the Core is about getting to the root so we are able to identify the actual problem that needs to be solved. So often we go through life on autopilot, and all these things that are coming up in our physical reality are not actually what we need to pay attention to. But the root of it is important to understand so we can grow and hold ourselves accountable. On this podcast, we focus on self love, acceptance, and overall healing modalities so we are able to show up as our most authentic selves. Before we get into it, I would like to thank you for spending your valuable time listening and learning with me, in addition to letting you know how proud I am that you showed up for yourself today. I am a firm believer in consistency, so let's hold each other accountable and get right into it. For this first episode, I wanted to talk about how comparison is a silent killer. When I say a silent killer, I mean this. When we go through life and we are constantly comparing ourselves to people, what they're doing, how much money they have, what their house looks like, their relationship, maybe these extravagant vacations they're taking, we not only do we feel this kind of envy, but we start to feel like what we're doing isn't enough. It's not good enough. It's not fun enough. We're not rich enough. We're not beautiful enough. And to be honest, I've been guilty of this. We are in a world where social media is so accessible, and pretty much everybody you know is on social media. And what are they doing? They're looking at other people's lives. I think while there's a lot of beauty in kind of tapping into what other people are doing, I definitely believe it creates a sort of connection. And I also think when we see other people who are doing similar things to us, we're able to relate. And I mean, even for myself, when I go on social media and I see, other people posting just regular daily life, I think to myself, okay, like we are kind of on the same wavelength. I think people love to post their highs. And to be honest, I really value the authenticity of posting the lows. I think there's something really beautiful in that, and just kind of showing up and saying, this is me. Maybe my house isn't the best house. Maybe it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but it's mine and it's me. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm happy with where I'm at. And I think there's something really beautiful in that. And I think even when we see the other side of it, where these influencers are posting themselves in mansions and they're driving Rolls Royces, it's so easy for us to take a look at our Honda and our apartment and just kind of feel behind. I think a lot of us have felt that way. I know I definitely have. And I am constantly reminding myself, quit comparing yourself, girl. You are right where you need to be. You have the things that the universe knows that you need. And there's something beautiful about simplicity in that regard. I will never be the person to tell you that wanting more is going to leave you feeling empty, because I don't believe that. I think there's something inspiring in seeing these people driving around in their Rolls Royces. Of course, I want a Rolls Royce. Like, of course I do. Who doesn't? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who maybe say that they don't, but deep down, I don't know. I mean, there's something really beautiful in luxury. And I think as humans, we do kind of crave that. And it's easy for us to look around and see this lifestyle that isn't necessarily our dream. Maybe we don't have our dream body. Maybe we're not on, this clean eating diet that we've kind of always wanted to be on. Maybe we don't have money to go to yoga or Pilates. We don't have money to get coffee out. We don't have the time to scrub our place down and make it absolutely spotless. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in what everyone else is doing and feel internally like we aren't enough. I've been there. I get it. I am constantly reminding myself, and I will remind you too, that you are enough as you are. You are beautiful on the inside and out. And we all have to start somewhere. And sometimes that's enough for us. Sometimes we have to start where we are and accept that even if this is the furthest we ever get, we are going to make the most out of this life. We are going to feel as good as we possibly can how we are today, the way we are able to show up today. And I just think there's a lot of, beauty in that. And just kind of, instead of comparing, let's be inspired. There's nothing wrong with seeing other people's lives and going, wow, that would be really nice if I could have that too. And the possibilities are endless. It's so easy to go on social media and even in the real world, see other people and the way that they flow, sometimes effortlessly. And it just makes us feel, how can I not do that? Why am I not capable of that? And it's not that you aren't capable. It's again, you're comparing where you are in that exact moment to where that other person is. And they probably haven't always been there. And that's why it's really important to just stop and remind ourselves we all start somewhere. And comparing what we look like, how we are, what's in our bank account, it's never, ever going to benefit you. Ever. What will benefit you is to get inspired and feel your authenticity shine through and say, this person, they look like they have a beautiful life. But you know what? So do I. And here's why. If it helps, sit down. And I've done this before numerous times in my life. I've sat down and I have listed every single thing that I am grateful for today. I am grateful for a roof over my head and a place that I can come to and find peace. I'm grateful I'm in a beautiful relationship that nurtures me and helps me feel invincible. I'm grateful for my cats who bring me a lot of joy and that I love. I'm grateful for my family and my friends and my job and the fact that I have a washer and dryer. I think there is something really special in even being able to sit back and say, okay, maybe I won't compare myself to other people, but I can compare myself to my past version. And I haven't always had a washer and dryer. Like, your girl is hitting the laundromat. And it is what it is. And at the time, I wasn't, it was hard for me to find beauty in that. I mean, going to the laundromat, if you have to go, I'm sorry that you have to do that. Genuinely, I know what it's like and it's not a good time. I'm grateful that I was able to make the best of that situation And I am always going to inspire you to try and do the same. Life is hard. It doesn't have to be. I mean, there's always going to be hard moments, hard days, maybe even hard years. But I will say life becomes just a little bit easier when we are able to sit back and accept who we are, where we are, what we're doing, the relationships that we have, viewing losses rather than a loss, but a protection, a divine universal protection. We are not in every room. We do not hear everything. We do not see everything. But you know who does? God does. And God sees everything. God hears everything. And I am a firm believer that anything that is exiting out of my life is not meant to be here. And it might hurt today and it might hurt tomorrow, but eventually I think we will all look back and go, okay, that's why that had to happen. The beauty is not finding the reason behind everything happens for a reason, but in believing that eventually you will get clarity and you will be able to see with such open eyes why that happened and why that person had to go and why that relationship had to end. So, yeah, I just want to thank you again for being here with me. I'm always here to hold space for you. And I just want to let you know that you are loved and you're light and what you're doing matters. And people want to know what you're doing. And so I never want you to dull your brightness to spare others. I want you to shine as authentically and genuinely as bright as you are, baby, because that is the beauty in life. And people love light. People love to see other people thriving, children laughing, adults loving. And we are all here together to learn without judgment. And I really want to just emphasize that on my podcast, we are going to be discussing a lot of things that are difficult and hard to kind of come to terms with. But they also help us to grow and learn about ourselves and others and form connections through that. And I'm just really grateful that you're here, and I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you again for showing up for yourself and me. And I cannot wait to continue on this beautiful journey with you of learning and loving with gratitude and light. I thank you again for being here. I hope you have a beautiful and magical day. I just want to remind you that you are a beautiful creature with a voice that people want to hear. And yeah, until next time, bye, my loves.